Welcome to my Surfer SEO review. In this video, I'll show you the pros and cons of Surfer, demonstrate how I use the tool, and show you a free alternative if you aren't quite ready to invest in a tool of this price. This video will contain my Surfer SEO review, a tutorial of the product, and a comparison with RankMath. And by the end of this video, you'll know if Surfer SEO is the right investment for your online business. If you're excited to learn if Surfer SEO is the right tool for your business and you like videos like this one, please give me a thumbs up so I know to create more of this type of content. Without your feedback, I just have to guess what you want. So hit that little thumbs up now. I've been writing blog posts and dabbling in search engine optimization since 2007. I've been around the block and I'll put that extensive experience into this video where we are going to kick Surfer SEO's tires. I've helped thousands of people just like you to launch successful online businesses, and I can't wait to take this tool through its paces. This video is going to be mostly me demonstrating how the software works, so let's dive right into Surfer SEO. Starting with the login page, they have a ton of awards that you see every time you log in. I've never heard of any of the people giving away these awards, so they don't matter to me. I care about how the product works. So let's log in and see what Surfer SEO has to offer. The main tool that I use Surfer SEO for is the content editor. Everything else is just extra. I can tell by the score who wrote an article and how much work it needs before it's ready to publish. The goal with every article is to get as close to 100 as possible. Surfer SEO, it's in its own category when it comes to article creation. That score is really powerful, and there's a really strong correlation between the Surfer SEO score and how well an article ranks in the search results. Surfer SEO has some additional tools like the SERP Analyzer. It will show you rankings for different keywords, but compared to what I see in Ahrefs, a tool that only focuses on rankings and research, the Surfer SEO results just aren't accurate enough. And that's okay, because that's not their specialty. The three most important tools are the content planner, the auditor, and the content editor. Let's start with the audit tool. Basically, it analyzes your existing content and looks for opportunities for you to improve your article quality. An article that was written a few years ago will often need to be updated to improve your score. What the search engines wanted 3 years ago, it's probably changed. Let me show you the Surfer SEO audit tool in action. Let's look at an audit of my blog post reviewing ConvertKit, one of my primary email marketing tools. My content score is 56, which is abysmal. I'm missing a ton of things that can be fixed. It's less than an hour of work. There are problems with my common backlinks, internal backlinks, and I'm missing a lot of the terms that Google expects to see in a ConvertKit review. If you look closely at the terms to use, we can see that I use the word email marketing software 6 times when they recommend only 2 to 4 times. On the other hand, I only used email marketing 14 times when they want to see that at least 17 times. Most of the time, I didn't use a particular word enough, and this can seem a little strange at first, I realized. Trying to write an article and stuff in each different term enough times takes a little getting used to. But it only took me a few hours to realize that it helps me come up with ideas to write about. Now, quite used to writing my blog posts using Surfer. Scrolling down, the next section is word count. My entire article is too short, and my headings are also too short. Most important thing is that Surfer SEO looks at my content from a purely analytical perspective. I would hate to try and implement this process manually. To take the top 10 articles for a keyword and then analyze them using spreadsheets, it looks like my article should be nearly 6,000 words longer. That's quite a lot, so I want to see where Surfer SEO is pulling their data from. I've tried some competitors in the past, and they wouldn't let me choose which competitors I want to model, and that's why I like Surfer. I can control which article the tool uses to create its scores and recommendations. I'll show you exactly how I do this in the content editor section in a moment. If I click on show details, I can see the competition that Surfer is using to rank my article. And if I look at the details, there's only one article that's significantly longer. It's an outlier, and it's throwing off the article length result. I know the author of this extra long article, and it's ranking 7th in the search results right now. When I'm choosing my competition for analysis, I'd like to remove outliers. If an article is longer or shorter than the competition, I'll choose not to include it when creating my Surfer reports. There are a lot of details in this report, and basically Surfer SEO tells you what to fix and your article will rank higher. And in my experience, it's quite accurate. I can look for missing backlinks, and Surfer tells me exactly where I need to get backlinks. Medium is on the list, and that makes sense to me. I can write a smaller article on Medium referencing this blog post and link to it, and this will turn from red to green. I don't know what Pixabay.com is, but I can look and see if I can get a backlink from them too. Once I've finished with my analysis, I can click on Mark as Done, and we can go back to the audit homepage. Every month, I get 65 audits with my plan, which is way more than I'm ever gonna use. I'm showing that I still have 65 left because that count just reset for me. Every month, that number resets, so if you don't use all 65, well, they don't roll over. I would recommend putting in all of your old articles in here each month and using up all your slots. Then in a few months or years, You can recheck old articles without having to use another credit. I've never come close to using my monthly credits, so I never worry about it. I'm unlikely to audit and rewrite 2 articles a day for an entire month. Let's switch gears and try out Surfer SEO's keyword research tool. I've always used Suggest for free keyword research or Ahrefs for my current paid research tool, so this will be my first time using Surfer SEO's tool during this live tutorial. I'm working on a new article for the keyword Start a Lifestyle Blog, and I want to see what Surfer has to tell me. Basically, it's just give me ranking data and not coming up with ideas for new keywords that I can use. This tool leaves a lot to be desired, so I won't be canceling my Ahrefs anytime soon. Let's head over to the Surfer Content Planner. I've actually never used this tool before either, and to make it work, I need to connect it to my Google Search Console. I need to use the right Google account that my site is registered with, and now that I've connected Surfer to the Google Search Console, let's reset the page. Honestly, this is a really advanced SEO concept. Surfer has 66 ideas for blog posts, including outlines for content that I can write in a cluster around my article, How to Start a Lifestyle Blog. This is a lot of content and keep me busy for months. I could write all these posts using Surfer and then link between them. It makes sense because they're all topics that belong on the same blog, and this is really ingenious. It really takes away so much of the hard work of coming up with post ideas. Let's open up one of these blocks and see what happens. Let's click on lifestyle blogging. There are a bunch of keyword phrases and questions here, and I can check or uncheck the ones that I think are relevant. Then I will spend one of my monthly article credits and click on Create Content Editor. This is a new tool that Surfer didn't have when I opened my account, so this is new for me right now, and it's very exciting. The article was created using NLP analysis, and we can look at the article. This is a completely blank slate to write an article inside of Surfer, and this is what it looks like when we only have one keyword to start our article idea. The score starts out at 3, and it's kind of like when you look at the SAT and you get a base score just for signing your names. Let's write a title for our blog post and see what that does to our score. Wow, 9 points just for adding a title. Something really special is happening here, and it's called gamification. Watching this right now, don't you want to see that little meter go up? Creates a powerful force inside of you that makes you suddenly want to write articles that Surfer loves. This is something really special about Surfer, and the competition hasn't really figured it out yet. The design of this page is really important. This page wouldn't be nearly as effective if I had to hit a button each time I wanted to reassess the score. By operating the meter in real time, I can watch my score go up when I do something right, go down when I do something wrong. The highest score you can get is in the 80s without adding images, so depending on your workflow, you'll either target 80 or 100 for your score. For most of my articles, I add the images later in my process, so I don't always hit 100 inside of Surfer. If you do add your images to Surfer, you want to hit 95 or better. When I write an article that's 99 in Surfer, it really ranks well in Google. I have absolute faith in Surfer because that's been my experience. Before you use any of the data that Surfer generates, you want to see where the data is coming from. Click on the little gear icon on the top of the page. You could use any of the top 20 results for a keyword in Google as the source of Surfer's recommendations. Mainly, I'm looking for outliers or results that don't make sense for my post. If I see a Wikipedia article or an Amazon product, for example, I'm gonna uncheck it. As you can see, Surfer makes its own decisions about which articles to check and uncheck. I like to use my brain to verify these decisions. These are all relevant articles, and this one should certainly be included, so I'm gonna check the box. I wanna add in articles that I think are relevant, and I wanna remove anything that's really long or really short. Anything that's an outlier. You can even click on a post to see what the actual content is about. How to launch a lifestyle blog in 5 steps is absolutely competing with me. I want to include this article for sure. You might not want to include the super short posts. They are often ranking because the site has so much authority, but otherwise these are all articles I want to include. Next, let's look at the content structure. This gives me an idea for how many words, headings, paragraphs, and images that I need to include in my article. I'm not as crazy about headings because 31 is a lot of headings for an article of this length. That's a new heading for every 140 words. That seems like way too many to me. You can manually change these settings if you think Surfer is wrong. You can play with the plus or minus icon to adjust your settings, and if you forget where you started, just hit the reset icon. I tend to leave these goals alone because that's really why I'm using Surfer in the first place. The next section is the terms to use. Here I'm looking for terms that don't make sense and might have come from an outlier article, or they just don't match what I want to write about. Here we can see the term free themes. I never recommend free WordPress themes because they're always a security risk, so that's a term I'm unlikely to use. I can uncheck that box or make sure that I'm going to say don't use free themes in my post. Am I going to say free domain or own ads? These are unlikely, so I might uncheck them. Mainly I remove single words from the list as I think that's too granular. I don't mind using specific phrases, but single words becomes a little too hard to implement. The next section is topics and questions. Honestly, this right here is a little gold mine. Normally to get this data, you need an expensive SEO tool like Ahrefs, or you need a subscription to answer the public. All of these are fine. It's more common to have to adjust all these checkboxes when a term has multiple meanings. In this case, everything matches what I'm going to write about. The final section is for writing notes. If someone else is going to write the article, then this is where you can leave them some final instructions or guidance. When you've customized your instructions, click on Let's Go. As you write the article and hit all the goals Surfer has created, your score will go up. I changed my subtitle to the Lifestyle Blog Dream, and my score rises to 17. This is how you learn to put your keywords in the right place in the article. The more you use Surfer, the more natural this tool will become, and you'll start writing amazing articles faster and faster. Let's start writing the very first paragraph. And as I'm writing, I can boost the score with good SEO behavior. I'm already at 26 and I'm just getting started. Surfer does have tools to help you create your outline. I don't tend to work this way as I've been blogging since 2007, and sometimes it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Surfer does now have an official integration with Jarvis AI, an artificial intelligence writing assistant that I'm going to cover in another video. Using the Surfer outline builder, just click on the blocks you want to add in the order you want to add them. Surfer, of course, likes their own content, and adding just one block bumps my score up to 31. It's really exciting to watch your score keep rising. They built this very well. I'm gonna add some more blocks and see how far Surfer can take the article before I even write anything. I'm gonna talk about buying your domain name and hosting, and then let's add this block about how to install WordPress. This is the first time I've used this in Surfer, and it's really useful for giving you ideas to write about. It's mostly providing a skeleton, and I would rewrite each word before publishing the blog post. I don't know if it's providing unique content, and I don't want to accidentally plagiarize anyone. So if you are going to use some of this auto-generated content, I would run it through a plagiarism checker just to be safe. Also, if you look a little closer at the content, some of this just isn't English. A confirmation of the purchase of goods will occur within 24 hours of receipt. Nobody talks like that. Surfer is good enough to give you the framework of a good article, but not to actually write it for you. That's what other tools like Jarvis do. I really like this tool because it's helpful enough to improve your writing, but not helpful enough to tempt you to just use the content the way it's written. This can't replace the actual writing process. There are other tabs such as questions. You can use this to make an FAQ at the end of your article or to make sure you answer the key questions your readers will have. You can click on brief to see links to the competitors' articles. My writers always prefer a detailed SEO brief, and now you can create one entirely inside of Surfer. I'm going to record a new video with all these features just to train my in-house writers and help them leverage how powerful Surfer really has become. Now it's time to start writing your article. Surfer will guide you through creating all the content you need. You want to use all 6 of the header tags, and as you write, the terms boxes will go from red to green, letting you know which words you use enough, which ones you need to use more. Some of the terms need to be used in headings, and some are NLP terms that you should use rather than terms that just come from other articles. You can get really into the weeds with Surfer SEO if you want to. I've always used LSI, which stands for Latent Semantic Indexing, but it doesn't really matter to me what names they give for their keyword generation. All that I care about is the correlation between a Surfer SEO score and rankings in search results. My experience is that Surfer really knows their stuff. Right now, we have a rough outline that we need to fill in and possibly add a few more sections. This is much easier than starting with a blank page. As you write your article, the score goes up. You get a constant supply of dopamine that should keep you motivated to keep writing. Let's go back to the content editor and show you an article written by one of my staff writers. The article with a 41 is just an outline, which is a pretty high score for a blog that's currently unreadable. That's a good outline, but let's check out this 62. The main keyword for this article is passive versus non-passive income. The beauty of Surfer is that I know right away that this score was way too low. I don't even have to read anything to know that something here isn't right. It seems like Surfer wants a super short article with a ton of different terms. This is nearly an impossible goal, so let's dig a little deeper. It seems like all of the top articles are really short for this keyword. This is a great example of garbage in, garbage out. I think it would be nearly impossible to write an article this short and include all the keywords Surfer recommends without making the article unreadable. It would be a list of keywords without any room for articles. One thing to notice is that we don't have any images. I find it a little unwieldy to add images here and then try to import them into my blog. I've not been able to make that work, so most of the time I write my articles inside my WordPress blog using the new Surfer plugin. This is a blog post I just wrote using Surfer SEO inside of the blog instead of using the Surfer dashboard. You can see my social score is pretty good, and this score from RankMath is abysmal. I'll show you how RankMath compares to Surfer in a moment. It's very hard to get a high RankMath score and Surfer SEO score, so I focused on my Surfer score for this post. Let's open up the block editor and I'll show you exactly how the Surfer plugin works. It takes a moment to load because it's a very long post. There we go. The Surfer plugin is going to load on the right-hand side of the post. It can be a little tricky installing the correct Surfer plugin, so let me show you exactly how to do that. If you search for Surfer SEO plugin, there are 2 different results on the Surfer domain. That's why it can be confusing. You want the plugin called Surfer for WordPress and Google Docs, not the search volume plugin. I'll put a link in the description to make it easier to find. From the Surfer page, click on Install the Chrome extension. Make sure the icon, look, and color are the same. It should look like an orange pencil in a box. The plugin will add the Surfer sidebar to my blog post. From the blog post page, I click on the plugin icon and it will create a sidebar on my page. It's already connected to this post, but if it's a new post, you'll have to select which content editor you want to use for the new blog post. Basically, you just select the keyword you want to rank for. I'll put the link below the video to this plugin because it's hard to find sometimes, and it took me a while to get it working. So you want it to look like, I guess it's an orange colored pencil, and let's see, I already have it installed, so I don't need to move it into this one here. So it's not a keyword research tool. My score was 91 when I finished, but now it's down to 87, even though that was only an hour ago. I can write my blog, upload the images, format all the Gutenberg blocks right on this page. It's so much easier and faster to create using the WordPress plugin. I hit the greens for every category except number of paragraphs. So I have a high score, and splitting all my paragraphs in half just to increase that one count would start to seem a little unnatural. So I believe I've taken this post as far as I can. All the tools are the same here as in the Surfer dashboard. You can see all of your big goals as well as scroll down to track the words you want to include in your article. The meter moves to the top of the screen. I included almost all of the words, so I have mostly greens and a few yellows, so I know that this article is going to rank. You can see that they also recommended a few keyword phrases to include in article headings, and I hit all of those as well. This plugin really turns the mystery of SEO into paint by numbers. When I scroll down, you can see that all my social media assets and content are in place using social warfare. If you look at RankMath, it only looks at the one primary keyword and wants me to put Kobo Eclipse bonus all over the article, even though that would be unnatural English. I'll show you RankMath in more detail later in this video, but that's the core difference between a free plugin and a paid service. Messing around with RankMath and Surfer can make the page a little crowded, so I can refresh the page as long as I've saved any changes and the page will be clean again. Strangely, reloading the page has bumped my score back to 91. That's why you don't want to worry too much as long as you're in the green. I do most of my writing inside of WordPress, but if you're writing for a client, then the Surfer dashboard is pretty amazing for just writing the text of your article. Let's look at one more article written inside the Surfer dashboard. Here is my review for Experienced Product Masterclass. I like to write reviews inside of Surfer because they're profitable the quickest. I can track the sales that come from my blog right away. This post was #1 for its keyword and made money for me. You can see that the score was 99 when I wrote the article. The word count, the number of paragraphs, and the number of images are all in the range that Surfer recommended. To optimize this article, I did add all the images to Surfer, but really it's much easier to do that inside of WordPress. You don't have to actually upload each image to Surfer. You can just click the Add Image button to mark where you will add an image later, and Surfer will score you accordingly. The blank image tells you where to put your images when you publish the article to your site. We have images that I created, screenshots, and fillers in this demo. I will link to the whole article in the comments below you so you can see the final result. And here's what the post looks like when it's formatted. All the images are added and the YouTube video is embedded. The post looks much nicer than in the Surfer dashboard. And I find it easier to write inside of WordPress using the plugin so that I can format while I'm writing. There are some areas where I think we could have used more images, and it's hard to notice that in the Surfer dashboard. Let's check the rankings to see what a Surfer SEO rank of 99 means in the real world. Let's head back to the Surfer SERP Analyzer and type in the keyword that I want to rank for, Experienced Product Masterclass Review. I want to remind you again that this blog post did generate a sale from a search result, and the product cost more than $1,000. So that one sale made all the work worth it. Even if this post is no longer ranking now, it did rank when it mattered the most. While this is loading, I'm going to open up Ahrefs, which I find have much more accurate ranking data. Inside of the Surfer data, the first result is me. It's nice to see your blog post as the first result. Just shows that all the hard work of writing an article using Surfer is worth it. It looks like my score has changed again. It's not showing as 99 on this page. Notice that as the scores go into the red, the rankings are lower as well. I want to keep my articles ranking highly, and that means managing my Surfer score as much as possible. With a post like this that only matters for 1 week a year, I'll update the post a few weeks before the key time and optimize it again. That should be enough to bump me back to #1 next year. The third result is by Nick Sasaki. We have some friends in common, and I see him in my research a lot. He's someone that I compete with who really does well with SEO, so I would model his content even if Surfer wasn't doing it for me. I know that he ranks consistently rather than some sites where they only have one post ranking really well. I also recognize the fourth result. And if we scroll down, the ninth result is Marissa, the creator of the product that I'm reviewing. This information is pretty interesting. You can see how long articles are and where they rank in the search results. If you want to rank in the top 10, you need to be longer than if you're okay with it being in the top 20. Strangely, the results in the 30s are long again. If you really like digging into data and making spreadsheets, then you'll be in heaven with Surfer. I prefer to let them do the work for me so that I can focus more on creating content. If you click on the Keywords tab, Surfer will tell you other keywords that you can target. I like this page because it's basically another idea machine. Here are even more keywords that I can write articles about, and I'll never run out of ideas. I can look at common phrases that appear on the pages that I'm competing with, and I think this might be a little too much. Surfer is so powerful, you can get stuck in the weeds looking at all the data. That's why I'm showing this last. Let's check out Ahrefs. I'm listed as number 1 for Experience Product Masterclass Review and number 3 if we remove the word review. That's pretty impressive. Ahrefs is another powerful tool, and I can click on the keyword to deep dive. I can see how much traffic the keyword gets and how competitive Ahrefs thinks it is. There isn't a lot of information because the keyword only gets traffic for 1 week of the year, and tools like Ahrefs really aren't equipped to think that way. They are built around long-term evergreen keywords. If you want to see more training on how I use Ahrefs to find and rank for keywords, just let me know in the comments so I can make content that matches what you're looking for. As you can see, Surfer SEO is a really powerful tool that was one specific thing really well. It helps you write articles that rank for keywords. Now, Surfer and Jarvis AI have formed a new partnership where you can write an article using the Jarvis artificial intelligence to do the writing for you. If you're interested in seeing these tools working together, let me know in the comments and I'll sign up for Jarvis and create a new video just for you. I showed you a little RankMath earlier, but let's take a focused look at this powerful tool. You can absolutely rank articles using RankMath, but as a free plugin, it's a little bit limited. Even with Surfer SEO, I use many of the RankMath features for my site. If you can't afford Surfer SEO, then RankMath is the perfect place to start. It's free, and you'll probably never need the paid upgrade. For this video, I want to focus on how RankMath helps you write articles. I'm going to ignore the other features and just compare apples to apples against Surfer. Looking at my internal dashboard, you can see that I have some posts we've optimized for RankMath and some we've optimized for Surfer. This is my profit singularity review and bonus. I wrote this article personally using Surfer. Surfer gave my article a score of 99, but RankMath only gives a score of 38. That's a huge difference. Is this article terrible? Let's find out. Open the article and click on the RankMath score to see what my article is missing. And it's the same errors in my other posts. RankMath only looks at the exact keyword phrase, not if the keywords are in a slightly different order. If I change the title to profit singularity bonus and review, I would have a higher RankMath score. But would that read as the same meaning? Again, we have a paragraph that's too long, but RankMath won't even tell me which paragraph is too long. I have to figure it out for myself. Basically, I have to use the exact phrase profit singularity bonus all over my article in all the key spots in order to get the perfect RankMath score. The problem is that it starts to seem unnatural, and that's why I like that Surfer gives me so many variations to work from. Based on the RankMath score, you would think this article wouldn't rank, but it actually did very well for me. This article is the one that got me really excited about using Surfer to write all my content. This one post made several $1,000s in profit for one afternoon's work. The main difference is that RankMath scores your content, but it doesn't guide you. There is no guidance on how long the article should be, what keywords to use, or how many images you should have. Let's reopen my Experience Product Masterclass review and see what RankMath has to say. For this one promotion, we created 3 blog posts that each targeted a different keyword. Normally, I create one post and try to rank for the product name, review, and bonus. But this article was only targeting Experience Product Masterclass review, so the RankMath score is also in the green. The free version of RankMath can't handle you trying to rank for more than one keyword variation, and that's a big limitation. If we look a little deeper into RankMath, there are still a bunch of reds on this post, like no outbound links. That's not actually true, as I linked to the sales page for the offer. So sometimes RankMath seems to give a false error. Every time you see this button, it has a link to the sales page. RankMath is really obsessed with keyword density, and that doesn't make sense in this type of post. How many times can I stick the phrase Experience Product Masterclass review into a review before it starts to seem really weird? It might seem like I'm against RankMath, but I'm not. You can absolutely rank number 1 for a keyword using this plugin. It's just very limited compared to Surfer. Let's start a blog post from scratch and see what RankMath will do. How to start a lifestyle blog. Click on the RankMath box and enter that as the keyword, and let's see what happens. If I put in the entire keyword, RankMath is going to ask me to write the title of the blog post 12 times my article, and it will look like keyword stuffing. Knowing that limitation, I can put lifestyle blog as my focus keyword and have something that's a little more workable. And I already have a green checkmark for using the keyword in the title. As you write this article, you'll get more green checkmarks and the score will go up. That certainly is helpful, but you can't control where RankMath is getting its ideas from. You can't look at the top articles and choose which one you want to use as the seed. RankMath will assess your article as you write it, but offers very little help in actually writing the article. RankMath is a great tool. It's just a lot harder for you to write your article with so little guidance. If you're on a budget, then use RankMath. The free version is good enough to rank articles, start making money, and eventually afford to upgrade to Surfer. Surfer SEO is an amazing tool that makes writing and ranking articles easier. It's a key part of my SEO strategy and one of the best tools in my toolkit. I use it nearly every day to grow my business. Thanks for taking the time to watch this long Surfer SEO tutorial and review. I hope seeing the tool in action has has helped you to make a more informed decision about whether this is the right tool for your business. For even more guidance on growing your blog and getting your first 100 superfans, you can grab my completely free guide at johnlinks.com/100. Did this video help you? Are you going to give Surfer SEO a try? Let me know in the comments below how it works out for you. The more you comment, the more I know the type of videos that you want to see. Thank you so much for watching my video. I've always got more content for you, so check out this one or maybe even this one.